everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about 4 major visas that people have asked me about when it comes to moving to Australia. I think they're probably like the more popular visa options that people our age tend to look at, and I'm being very sort of our age in terms of the age that I look and the age that I probably am. So let's start with the most basic visa that I have spoken about before. It's called the working holiday, or the 417 visa. The working holiday is basically for anyone who is under the age of 31 years old. You can go and work in Australia for up to 2 years, and you can earn money and you can travel. So the intention of this visa is not to help you find permanent work. You can only work at an employer for 6 months, and then you have to switch employers again. And the only way to extend the visa to 2 years is by doing farm work for 3 months. This farm work may or may not be paid, but they do cover your living expenses and your food. So it's a great option for younger people who just kind of want some adventure, who want to travel and see what the country's like, and they don't really want any commitments. So this visa is also known as the work and holiday visa for Americans and a whole bunch of other countries. So it depends on where you're applying from, so be sure to check that your country does in fact qualify for either the working holiday or the work and holiday. So I know there might be some countries which may not qualify for this visa, so I'm really sorry if that's the case, but I don't make the rules. So you do need a health examination, and I think for some countries I've heard that they check your bank balance to make sure that you can sustain yourself for a certain period of time. I didn't have to do that, so I don't know what countries do. The second sort of option for younger people is the student visa, and within the student visa there's a whole bunch of different subclasses. There's the vocational, there's the English course, and then there's like the more higher studies for anyone who wants to do their graduate, postgraduate, bachelorette studies or education in a university or college. So all 3 of these are the exact same price. The application for all 3 is $535, and again you have to do the health examination, and in the case of some of you, you might even have to do the English proficiency exam. With the vocational and English course, I know they're a lot shorter, so it can be like a certificate or a diploma that you're doing at a college that only runs for like a year. You don't really get any time after that to linger around in the country and look for a job. You sort of have to leave within, I think, a month of the course ending. With a more professional degree from a university, I think you get up to 3 months to look for work, and if you don't find work, you can come back and apply for another application or whatever. So these are probably more important for people who are younger, but they're still very popular because I have met people who are in their 30s and they're in Australia because they are redoing certificate or diploma courses that they did in their countries, and they're not accepted because they're not in English language. Okay, so one of the things that does end up happening for a lot of people or some people who go to Australia on a working holiday is that they end up finding permanent work. So the really popular visa, or the most asked about, is 416 or the 186. And in both of these, so 186 is for anyone who doesn't get the temporary qualification, which is the 416, and you have to be sponsored by your company. So if a company is really interested in you and you go and interview, or however you come across this company that you want to work for, they will actually cover the cost of the visa, all the legal fee and whatnot. I think the only thing you have to pay for is health insurance, which actually you also need under a student visa. So you don't get your student visa if you don't have health cover, which you need to buy from an Australian health insurance company. So The skilled migration is for anyone who's under the age of 50 and they are their jobs are in the list of the skilled migration workers. So there's actually a list that is released by Australia. So if you do qualify in that list, and you are under the age of 50 and a company is interested in you, there is a good chance that you might get sponsored. So I don't know how the health insurance works with this. I think the company covers it for you, but if not, you can get it yourself, and it's pretty inexpensive when you're making a good amount of money. So they have to prove that they can't find anyone with your qualifications in Australia, and then they can hire you. Okay, then the final and important sort of visa that I want to talk about is the spousal or partner visa. A lot of people who go to Australia, and I keep saying a lot of people because I think that everyone's doing this, but some of the people who go to Australia will end up meeting someone and falling in love, and they want to be with this person forever or potentially get married. Now, if you just want to live with this person and you want to stay in Australia and make it permanent, you do need to do a few things to stay. One of the things that you have to have is a bank account together with that person. The second thing is you have to be registered as a couple. In order to do that, you need to go to the Bureau of Marriages and Births, Deaths, and Marriages. And then also you need to be living together for a full year to qualify. So even if you submit your application and you haven't been living together a year, they're not actually going to consider it until you actually meet all of these criteria, unless you have like extenuating circumstances. The cost of this application, you guys, is $6,865. And none of these fees account for migration agents or immigration lawyers or anything like that. So if you go to an immigration lawyer or a migration agent, that fee is all on you. And know that if your application is rejected, you don't get your money back. So there's none of that happening. So you have to submit the application knowing that and fully aware of it. So a lot of people, for that reason, especially for the spousal visa, do go through a lawyer. And obviously for the skilled migration, the company generally has lawyers that covers everything and checks before they do anything like that. The other option in the spousal visa is if you're looking to get married to an Australian citizen. With that, if you do apply, you have to get married to your partner within a year. I think the cost of that visa is the same, but I also know people who have lodged marriage visas in the last 8 months who each paid $10,000 or a little bit over. So it's really, really expensive. The thing that does happen is if you're in between visas, like you're going from working holiday to a spousal or student, the Australian government will allot you a bridging visa, so you don't have to like leave the country for a month or something like that. So they'll give you a bridging visa which carries over the sort of rights of your prior visa until you get granted the next one. And then if you don't get granted the next one, you have 30 days to leave the country. So there's a few things that are important to know when applying for any of these visas. Number one, you have to pay health cover, okay? Number two, your medical examination is also an added cost that you need to remember. Number three, for a few of these, you need to have English proficiency proven, and it can also increase your points on the application. So you might have to consider taking the IELTS exam, if I said that correctly. And also, don't forget the fee for immigration lawyers or migration agents. Most migration agents are free, but then again, the real help you will probably need, especially if you are really keen on moving to Australia, is from an immigration lawyer. So I really hope I didn't ramble on too long, and this is my third time making this video because the first 2 times my camera didn't focus and I didn't check. So yeah, anyways, please continue to keep your love coming. It has been so great to see how much support I've been getting from you guys on Facebook and YouTube. So continue to comment, share, subscribe, Leave your questions down below and know that I am reading them and getting around to reading all of them and trying to make sure that my videos are incorporating as much guidance for you guys as possible. Until next time, think strong and we will talk soon. Bye.